Okay, so namaskar once again. My name is Sampadananda Mishra. People call me Sampad Ji. And sometimes people find it a little difficult to pronounce, so I tell them just speak Sampad Anand Mishra. So I'm born and brought up in Odisha in a very orthodox family where my grandfather introduced me Sanskrit right from my childhood. He used to tell me stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata, teach me shlokas, mantras. So this is how I was introduced to Sanskrit right from my childhood. And he had three instructions for me, particularly in my family. He had chosen me that my life will be dedicated for the country, for language and culture. I should continue have all my qualifications, academic qualifications in Sanskrit, and then I shouldn't do any job and dedicatedly work for the promotion and propagation of Sanskrit, which I have been following right from my childhood. I have my educational qualification, MA, MPhil, PhD in Sanskrit, but I didn't do any job for 25 years, you can say, from the age 25 to age 50. I didn't do any job. So in Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Pondicherry, so I was doing this propagation of Sanskrit, various research works, writing books, promoting Sanskrit, and especially children's literature in Sanskrit. So I'm a, you can say, a rare teacher who teaches from PG to PG. From PG to PG. You know what is PG? From playgroup to post graduation. Okay. So, preparing curriculum in Sanskrit, textbooks, writing books for children, teaching pedagogy, training the teachers how to teach Sanskrit innovatively to children, especially the young kids. So then they do not lose interest in Sanskrit. Okay. And Sanskrit becomes a natural language for them, right? Through various kinds of activities, songs, mantras, chanting, okay, dancing, doing drama, okay, doing nature study, stargazing, so various kinds of activities which children will enjoy, and through that you introduce them to Sanskrit, world of Sanskrit. So this is what I have been doing for several years, at least you can say 3 decades. At present, I am settled in Sonipat, Haryana, just 1 hour from Delhi airport. There is a university called Rishi Hood University. It's a state private university where I have set up a center called Center for Human Sciences, where I take up various kinds of innovative projects, new projects. Where for me, Sanskrit has to be linked with our life, various facets of life, and some unique, innovative works needs to be done for Sanskrit. So I take up projects like robotics in ancient India. How in ancient India robots used to be manufactured, the processes. The robots were called yantra manava. Literally, if you translate it, it will be like machine man. There were characters who were robots. If you remember, like puppetry, all kinds of emotions, all the navarasas, they used to do through the puppet. You pull this string, hand will move this way. Pull this string, the head will move like this. Okay. So if you translate that to digital mode, so you get a robot of the present time. Otherwise, manually they used to do different characters from Ramayana, Mahabharata, from Puranas. I took up projects like Sanskrit and speech pathology. There are many speech related disorders and disabilities. If they are inorganic, they can be rectified easily through various patterns in Sanskrit, the sound patterns. So that was one project. Avadhana Kala, the very age-old art. So we did a lot of research on Avadhana Kala, a lot of activities. We made a Avadhana Sangama. So like this, many new innovative projects which I take up with the support from Government of India, from some CSR funding, and then we do this type of works. So then we link Sanskrit and its tradition with people with different facets of life and new ideas, innovative ideas. They are explored, and this is how many young minds they get attracted towards Sanskrit and our tradition. So this is how I have been contributing towards Sanskrit, promotion of Sanskrit. Yeah, see, there are children at present are affected by a lot of speech related disorders and disabilities. Some children, their speech is a delay speech, or they have a stiff tongue or lazy lips. Lip movement is not proper. Their speech is delayed. Certain kind of sounds they can't pronounce. So, for example, like I met a child in Rajasthan. So, if you ask the child, say Coca Cola, she will say Thotothola. You ask her, say Kurkure, she says Turture. All the sounds which begins with Ka group, so she will do it in the Ta group. Not that she doesn't speak Ka group. I did a little bit of interaction with the child and then found out that if the Ka sound is the first sound of any word, she can't pronounce the Ka sound. If the Ka sound comes in the middle, like if you ask her to say Utkala, she will be able to say that. But you ask her to say Kamala, she will say Thamala. Right? So then what happened? I made some sound combinations. First Ta group, then Ka group. Like Utkala, Utkhata, Udgama. Right? So first Ta group sound, then Ka group sound. Just to make her aware of the Ka group, where from the sound is coming. Then I gave her some verses which are composed using only Ka group sound, like aga, gang, gang, ga, ka, ga, ha, ka, ga, ka. Right? It has only Ka group sounds. So then by reciting those sounds and repeating the sounds beginning with Ta group combined with Ka group, within 2 to 3 months, she was perfect. She started speaking the Ka group sound. So some kind of laziness, some kind of things which were obstructing her or creating problem, it got rectified. So if the problem is inorganic, okay, there's no problem where one needs surgery or anything like cleft palate and all those things. Inorganic problems can be rectified by Sanskrit, various kinds of verses. So I have made a compilation of many verses. So if those verses the children keep reciting on a daily basis, they will never have speech related problem. And if they have any problem also, that also specific verses I give them, so then those problems are rectified. So this I have been doing for a long time, but this time I took up as a project funded by Government of India, and then we did submit the report. So similarly, I take up Chandas as an intervention. Children having learning disabilities, memory is low, focus is low, their receiving capacity is very poor. So, grahana, dharana, smarana. Receive, grasp, hold it, retain it, and recall it. These three powers, they have to be well developed in the children. Grahana, dharana, smarana. If those are not there, then children face a lot of difficulties in learning. So how to address that, all those who have already developed ADHD, autistic children. So I help by the intervention of Sanskrit chandas. specific chandas. So that's what is my research. I try to make Sanskrit as relevant as possible for our life, for the problems that humanity is facing on a day-to-day basis, how our shastras, our language, our way of doing things, thinking can help bringing some solution to our problems. Then it becomes relevant. That's what I have been doing, and that's what is my research. So I've been teaching Sanskrit to children and various age group uh, people uh, for a long time. But in 2011, so I created a very structured course and I titled it as Spandana, Feeling the Pulsation of a Divine Language. It shouldn't be, the idea was, it shouldn't be just learning the language, learning the different parts of speech, some vocabularies, something. No. When someone comes to my class, must feel the purity of the vibration of the sounds, the beauty and charm of the Sanskrit sentences, the poetry, the grammar, the chandas, the mantras. So one must feel it. That's how, like, if someone is attending this course, participating, taking this course, must go back with a very different feel, because it's a language of yoga, it's a language of meditation, it's a language of silence, it's a language of power, it's a language of strength, it's a language of refinement, it's a language of all that you can name, or you can put the level of perfection. It's a language of perfection. Okay. So the course is designed in such a manner that in every session there is a divine element, there is a meditation element, whether I am teaching just the Varnamala or teaching the basics of Sanskrit Vyakarana or teaching something about the beauty and charm of the poetry or characterization of something or the mantras of the Vedas and Upanishads or our prayers, devotional prayers, everywhere in all the sessions, this divine element one will never miss. The silence element, the meditation element. Okay. So it's a language by learning which one's consciousness gets raised for the expansion of our consciousness, for the purification of our consciousness, for heightening and widening our consciousness. How this language becomes a powerful tool. That's what I do teach through these courses. Our classes begin with mantra yoga, bringing every participant, whether they have some background of Sanskrit or not, bringing them in contact with various aspects of Sanskrit through mantras, through songs, through Vyakarana, through various kinds of activities, through its conversational form. So I take care of their conversational skill. I do take care of their functional grammar. I do take care of their this divine element, but the reading comprehension and writing foundation is not done through this course. Okay, so the conversational skill and feeling the purity of the sound, these two, and the functional grammar part, these aspects are well taken care of, and the feedback for all these years, anyone who has participated, they go back with a very different state of mind, and they will never lose interest in Sanskrit. Rather, they promote, they become ambassadors of this language, all the participants. So it has been going on since 2011, and many, many batches they have been participating it during Corona time. We did it online, so many people participated. So it is both an appreciation and learning innovatively in a simple manner. It's a 50 hours course, and within 50 hours, I mean 7 hours of classes every day for 7 days. And after 7 days, they go back speaking simple Sanskrit. And in a different way. They feel it. It's not merely speaking, they feel the language. So as a part of my mantra yoga class, which I mentioned about the 50 hours course, which begins with the mantra yoga. So one or two sessions are dedicated for the chakra purification mantra. So this chakra purification mantra, you can do it in two ways, bottom up and top down. So every chakra sthana, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Visuddhi, Ajna, and then you have Sahasrara. So every chakra sthana has its own core vibration. That core vibration is the core mantra to activate it, keep it activated, purify it. The chakras belong to the Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. So in the subtle body, what happens? Because it is subtle body covered by many gross elements, so it is covered, thickened, congested. Okay, you don't feel the presence of it. Okay, and each chakra is also connected with a particular element. Like Muladhara chakra is connected with the earth element, Prithvi Tattva. Swadhisthana is Jala Tattva. Manipura is Agni Tattva. Then Anahata is Vayu Tattva. Visuddha is Akasha Tattva. Okay. Then you have here the Ajna Chakra, which is the Manas Tattva. And then Sahasrara is the Chetana, Shuddha Chetana. Right. So every Tattva also has its own vibration, own sound. So Prithvi Tattva, the sound is La. That's how the Muladhara Chakra mantra becomes La, Lam. Okay, that Chandrabindu or the Anuswara, it brings the mantric force to it. It heightens the mantric force of it and make you feel that Lam. And it has to be chanted with Om. So Om Lam. So sometimes people do it Om Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Hum, Ksham, Om. There are other patterns also in the tradition. So the way I teach is by repeating it three times, like Om, if it is Muladhara Chakra, so feel the Prithvi Tattva. The whole focus should be on the Muladhara. You feel the presence of it, the presence of the divinity, and then say Om, Lam, Lam, Lam. The whole concentration and focus is on Muladhara Chakra, Prithvi Tattva. Prithvi means it is strong, stable. Even though it is moving, but it doesn't lose itself. It is strong, stability. So the energization and activation and making the chakra free from its congestion, it brings more stability. Someone's Muladhara chakra activated can sit for a long time, stand for a long time, will never get fatigued easily. Okay. So you say Om Lam Lam Lam. In addition to it, there is the Kundalini Jagarana mantra called Hoom. Very powerful mantra. So sometimes when we lift something heavy or do some heavy work, we say, like the Hanuman's Hunkar, it suddenly energizes. And you feel the energy. So that Hoom is the Kundalini Jagarana mantra. So you can combine it with it. So Om, Lam, 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 Hoom. And feel that, like you feel the light emerging, some energy spreading, radiating. Then carrying the same flame, you don't disconnect. In the meditation, you move up, link it with the Swadhisthana, Jala Tattva, Vam, and then say Om, Vam, 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 Hu. And then your whole focus is on the Swadhisthana chakra. So like this, you can move from Muladhara to Sahasrara, raising, aspiring for the light, for the purification, and then pause, feel the Sahasrara, the thousand sun, brilliant, and then allow it to enter into yourself. Then getting concentrated on particular chakras, then spreading, then concentrated, then spreading. This is how it becomes a very perfect meditation that you contemplate on each chakra, recite the mantra related to it, and then offer yourself by saying Swaha. Suppose you are coming from, say, Ajna Chakra to Vishuddha Chakra, top down. So Om, say Hum is the Vishuddha Chakra mantra. Om Hum, Hamsah, Soham, Swaha. You add these elements. Om Yam Hamsah, Soham, Swaha. So like this, for each chakra, you have the mantra. So from bottom up and top down, it becomes a perfect meditation by contemplating, energizing and activating each chakra sthana. So sometimes also like, okay, sometimes we don't even do Vaikhari. Just visualize the sound, the symbol of it. Okay. So you can also do it with pitch, like uh, lam, 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 whom. I keep one pattern and the same pattern gets repeated for each chakra. Okay. So very difficult to locate the position within this body, because suppose I am sitting here, I am imagining at the end of the spine Muladhara. Okay. But the Chetana is all pervading. No? Suppose I am standing, which one will be my Muladhara? So you can't position it in the whole body at a particular place. Suppose I am sleeping, so where should I imagine my Muladhara? Then the rest part is ignored completely. So it's not a question of which position, but you imagine that wherever you are getting settled. So that is the Muladhara, the base, right? And then you move accordingly. What is described in the Shastras, there's a particular positions which are marked out. You can visualize that and then do it. The most important thing is to feel the vibration, the purity of the vibration of these sounds, and bring into your imagination, visualization, the purity, beauty, strength, and every aspect of the element with which the chakra is related. Prithvi Tattva, Agni Tattva, Akasha Tattva, Vayu Tattva. So that's how it becomes very highly meditative. See, for us, when we say that we all are getting educated, what is education? If you look at the rishis, our shastras, so the premise with which the whole idea of education begins, the starting point is life. Life is the whole field. So it's a process by which it teaches us, or we learn how to better organize our life. So then there is this expansion of consciousness. And in that expansion, in that process of expanding, we become free from, or we start moving away from the darkness to light, from the falsehood to the truth, from the state of mortality to the state of immortality. So the most important mantra that has always inspired me is Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityur Ma Amritam Gamaya. Here we find a framework for our life, our education, which has to be remembered always. And in life, while moving forward, we always have to carry in our awareness this mantra, that our whole purpose of life is to move from what is falsehood, what is dark, what is untrue, what keeps us binding to the mortal world, and then how we can liberate ourselves from this. Then it becomes sa vidya ya vimuktaye. Learning, education is that which liberates us from what binds us to falsehood, what binds us to darkness, what binds us to this mortal world. So education is all about making ourselves free from that, and then helping us expanding or living in an expanded consciousness. So my whole message will be that our language is designed in such a manner. The Shastras have always focused on this, like how we can become free from all our miseries, sufferings, and bondages. Okay. So this is where I find our Shastras, our language are very, very practical and relevant for all ages.